So today we are discussing the third island of the heart. We've been discussing a little recap, how the heart is the seat of the transcendental divine couple, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, called Radha Govinda. And this heart is like a beautiful lotus flower, because this transcendental form of the unconditional, pure, eternal spiritual love resides in this beautiful lotus flower. And this lotus flower opens up in the heart as we uncover more and more layers of covering that is holding this lotus from really radiating its pure fragrance and love in the world. So today we're going to discuss about the third petal of that lotus. This is a 9-petal lotus, and it is also known as the 9 islands of the heart. Nava Dvipa. Dvipa means island. Nava means 9. So the 9 islands of the heart. So we have discussed the first island, which was Shravanam, or listening from the heart. And then we did Kirtanam, speaking or singing from the heart. And the third one is Smaranam, Smaranam, or remembering from the heart. So very important to remember that there are many sages in our lineage that have attained the highest realm of the spiritual sky, known as Goloka, simply through remembering. And it is extremely important to understand that Shravanam and Kirtanam culminates in Smaranam. So Shravanam means hearing. That means it's something that is coming from someone else outside. We hear all the beautiful narrations of the divine qualities of this incredible universe and the creator of this universe. And then we are able to sing about those. We are able to glorify those qualities and eulogize those qualities. And now the third stage is remembering. So you will notice that Shravanam and Smaranam, they're two very interesting, because Shravanam means listening. You listen with your ears. And Smaranam means to remember with your mind. So it is internal work. So whatever you have heard in your life, you'll be able to remember them. So now here Smaranam means that we must remember only devotional or spiritual or loving things. So the heart, if you want to be situated in the heart, you have to focus on only remembering the good. Not that Claudia didn't give me the ice cream on my birthday. And I can think of why she didn't give me the ice cream and think about what a bad person she is because she didn't give me the ice cream on my birthday. There are so many other incredible qualities about Claudia that I can remember, but I choose to remember the fact that she didn't give me ice cream. So Smaranam means to constantly remember the good in others, all the good things that people have done for you, and how this universe is so beautifully, kind, and compassionately providing you with all the resources that you could possibly want and more. When you look at the sun, you can see how this, our beautiful creator, we can call it God, call it Krishna, Govinda, has provided everything that we need. Through the sun, all the heat is provided in this world. All the light is provided in the world. So as soon as we look at the sun, we are able to remember the good qualities of our Creator. And then from the sun, if you see the moon is the cooling part of it. All the fruits and vegetables and all the vegetation in the world are provided with the 6 flavors: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, astringent. All the flavors are provided by this beautiful moon, which is also part of the Creator. The sun and the moon are the eyes of the Creator. So what are we able to do? Everything we eat, we are able to then remember the Creator. We're able to remember God. We're able to remember Krishna, Govinda. And then when we eat all this food, when we go to the stomach, and then what happens? You still need fire. Who is that fire? It is the Creator within your belly in the form of Jataragni is helping you to digest the food. So you're able to remember our Creator at all steps. And then in case you have too much ice cream in the middle of the night and you get indigestion, then guess what? There is also all these herbs that is provided in abundance in the world. And who is that? That is also provided by the Creator. That is also provided by Govinda, Krishna. So in this way, we are constantly able to remember just by observing the material world. We are fully able to observe that everything that is happening in the world is happening to serve us by the divine arrangement. And we practically don't have to do anything. So this is the point of Smaranam, to remember how everything we have, everyone we have, all facilities in this world is provided by the divine. So this is called Smaranam. Many, many examples. I'll give a few examples. There is this beautiful story of a young prince. His name is Prahlad Maharaj. He's a young boy, and his father, who became so powerful, so much so he had full control over all the demigods in the heavenly planets. He had absolute control. And when his son was disobedient and did not want to listen to the instructions of his father, to try and conquer the world and enjoy the material world and the material resources, then he threw his son off the cliff. He wanted to teach him a lesson. So he threw him off the cliff. And Prahlad Maharaj, this young prince, very clearly remembers that at that time, I was able to remember how everything in this world is controlled and ordained by the divine. And I'm simply at the mercy of Govinda, of Krishna, of God. And when he was able to remember that, the divine immediately intervenes, because every thought that we have, it has a very, very powerful energy. When we think good about others, good things happen to others. When we think good about ourselves, good things happen in our lives. So this remembrance is extremely powerful. If we think of all the bad things that's going to happen, it will happen to you, so don't worry. But if you start to think of all the good things that could possibly happen, and those good things will also manifest in your life. So that happens through Smaranam. So, therefore, we see in that story of Prahlad Maharaj, this great prince, even though his father had all the material powers and wanted to dispose of him by throwing him off the cliff, he just simply remembered. And because of those remembrance, he was very beautifully held and saved and brought back from the cliff. So this is what Smaranam is. To remember at all circumstances that all actions and all activities and everything is happening by the divine orchestration of our Creator. There is another example I'll give you. Brahma, who is also known as the creator of this universe, he is only in charge of creation, not the entire cosmic creation. So his responsibility is creation. And we see that when he wakes up, he is in a beautiful lotus flower and is darkness everywhere. This is how the yoga explains the creation happened. He's sitting in a beautiful lotus flower and there's darkness everywhere. And he can't see. He can't hear because everything is extremely silent. And so what does he do? He comes down and then he's able to hear the word tapa. Tapa means austerity or meditation, meditate. So then he went into meditation. And when he went into meditation, he was then able to remember his constitutional position. So when we meditate, that means we contemplate. And through the meditation process, we will be able to remember our spiritual constitutional position. And this is where Smaranam comes in. Simply through remembering. Remembering means through meditation. And remembering in what state of mind? This great saint Sanatana Goswami explains that we should meditate with devotion. So that means everything is done out of love, from the heart. When you think of good things about Narayani Devi, then you have to think from the heart. It's not an intellectual process. It is a process that is coming from the heart. So what we're noticing is Shravanam, we're using the senses to eventually hear from the heart. Kirtanam, we're using the mouth, the senses, and from the heart. And Smaranam, although the mind is used and is considered to be one of the senses, it is still coming from the heart. It has to come from devotion. So this is, in a nutshell, Smaranam, but I want to take you on a little short journey to understand how we gain knowledge and wisdom to be able to hear from the heart. So I want to provide you with beautiful 5 steps that is provided in the yoga text to actually be equipped with the skills of achieving wisdom and knowledge in our lives. So the first step in this process is called pratyaksha. That means we use our senses and we see and we imitate. For example, when a child is born in your household, they don't understand what's happening, but their eyes are wide open. They say, monkey see, monkey do. I heard that expression. The children, they just learn from seeing and they try to imitate. So this is the first stage of gaining knowledge. Through our sense of sight, we're able to see and we imitate. And as we imitate, we develop an attachment. You know, the children, they learn, and when they see you do something, and they do it, and they become attached to this process of doing something. So that is called pratyaksha. And then the second part is called paraksha. In this process, we hear attentively and we see through their eyes. So here we are adding one extra sense. We're using the sense of hearing. Tell the children something, they hear something, and they do it just like you, and they see through your eyes. They see why you're doing what you're doing. So this is called paraksha. And then we have aparaksha. And this is not only do you see through their eyes, but you also are able to be on the same page as to why they're doing what they're doing. Does that make sense? The third stage. And then we have, see, for example, in the material world, we understand Maya or illusion is very captivating. And the divine is also captivating. Krishna is also captivating. So we use this term Krishna because we use him as the embodiment of transcendental, eternal, spiritual love. So using illusion, darkness, and light, and love on one hand. So both are captivating. But you will notice that with illusion, there is darkness. But with Krishna, with love, you'll find transcendental bliss. Because Krish means to attract, and Na means where you derive transcendental bliss. So this is Paraksha, and then we see the fourth one is Adhoksaja. The word Adha means push down. Aksha means eyes. That means whatever is provided with our senses, we're able to push it down with our sense perception. All the senses are dulled, so then we are able to truly see from the heart, which is our spiritual vision. So this is the fourth stage called the Adhoksaja. And this is a very interesting stage because you are no longer listening and taking information directly from the senses. And then the fifth stage is called Aprakita. It's a very beautiful stage where the heart is just completely filled with all the beauties that you have experienced, you have heard, you have tasted, you have seen in the world. And you're completely able to remain in that beautiful space of bhakti in the heart. So this is called Aprakita. Everything in this world makes sense, or also known as Jnana Chakshu, the knowledge of the heart from the heart, and you're able to see with the eyes from the heart, and everyone becomes Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That means we are all children of one Father. So this is possible because we have been able to go through the fourth stage of not seeing with our senses, but seeing with the spiritual vision. And now you're able to be in that space. So Aprakita is where Smaranam happens, where you're able to remember all the beauty, all the gift, all the blessings that you have in this world. So these are the 5 stages that leads you to the ultimate Smaranam, to remember all the good things. And normally it is explained that we should always, every day, spend some time to document all our blessings, like we have discussed before in the gratitude. We have discussed the depth of gratitude. Did we discuss it in the Heartspace, Claudia? The depth of gratitude? But anyway, we have explained how there is individual gratitude where you're grateful because good things have happened to you. It's a very self-centered gratitude. I am so grateful because I have a job. I am so grateful because I have a house. I am so grateful because I have friends. I am so grateful because I have beauty, I have wealth, I have name. So all of this is called personal gratitude. It's the first circle. And the second circle of gratitude comes in where you're grateful because your friends in your social circle, things that are happening good in their life, everything around you, everyone around you. So the circle opens up. And eventually you're grateful because the universe has provided everyone with everything that they could possibly need. And so when you write those gratitudes every single day, that is called Smaranam, remembering all the beautiful blessings that you have in this world, not just you personally, but everyone around you and everything in this world. And the sages are recommending that we all study this yoga text called the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavat Puran is a beautiful text that only talks about the beautiful pastimes of incredible activities that happen. For example, I'll tell you a small story from the Srimad Bhagavatam, or called the Srimad Bhagavat Puran. There is this village called Gokul. And in this village of Gokul, there are many, many young boys and young girls. And the residents of Vrindavan, which is the bigger town, and in this village of Gokul, everyone is fully operating on that platform of prema bhakti, of transcendental, unconditional, pure, eternal spiritual love. So that is the transactional currency in this land of Vrindavan. And at one point, there is this beautiful goddess. She comes into Vrindavan, but in all reality, she is designated by a king from the neighboring town to go and kill all the children. And her name was Putana. And she came into this village disguised as though she was personally the goddess of fortune. She was so beautiful. She was so gorgeous. And she was walking around the village and caught the eyes of every single resident of Vrindavan. Now, Krishna, as you know, is the embodiment of transcendental, pure, eternal spiritual love. So he is sought after by everyone, including this witch who is very beautifully disguised. And what is her intention? Her intention is to destroy this personification of love. Because you'll notice there are many people in this world who don't like love, who would like to see that love gets crushed. Because of jealousy, someone else is in love, I don't want them to be in love. So there's a level of jealousy. So this personification of love is playing with his friends. Krishna is playing with his friends. And she finally gets a chance where the mother, Yashoda, mother of Krishna, she allows this woman to carry this baby because Mother Yashoda is thinking she is such a beautiful woman, she must be the goddess of fortune. And she puts this baby Krishna in her lap. And her intention is what? How to kill this person. And she smeared and covered her breast with the Kalakutam, the deadliest, the black dark poison is called. That even if you get close to the poison, you don't even have to consume it. You can die. That's the power of this poison. But when Krishna is offered this milk, he accepts it. And not only he accepts the milk, but he also accepts the person who is offering this poison to him, and thereby taking her life by drinking this poison. So this story symbolizes what? Symbolizes that there is deception is the quality that we all tend to have. And the mind is constantly deceiving the heart. One way or another, mind finds a way to deceive the heart. But if we are centered in our heart, if we are centered like Krishna is showing here, this pure personality, then he is able to absorb even the darkest poison. So if we are situated in pure bhakti, if we are truly situated in the essence, what is pure bhakti, which is living in that space of pure, unconditional, spiritual, eternal love, then everything else around it becomes easy to deal with. And somehow, because this Krishna alone, because divinity alone can eradicate any impurities, and we don't even have to do anything. All we have to do is be in that space. And this is why in the yoga text they're encouraging this constant studying of the yoga texts, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, that we must continuously study the yoga text for this one reason, that we will be able to understand that there is so much that we have, and everything in this world is so beautifully ordained and makes our life more and more easier because we can actually be in that space of ultimate spiritual gratitude. So this is called Smaranam, to always remember. Remember only the good. Someone may think, we don't I'll remember the good, but I'll never forget what he or she has done to me. See, the thing is that poison and nectar, they don't always go together. So when you're in that space of constantly finding the good, finding the divine presence of everything in our life, you will not have time or space for anything else. And this is why Smaranam is so important.